The highway was never supposed to be that dark. Mira had driven this stretch dozens of times, usually with the radio humming. The world felt comfortably ordinary, but tonight the darkness had weight. The sky pressed down without stars, and her headlights carved a narrow tunnel through the endless road. She checked her phone. No signal. Of course. Her GPS had frozen 15 minutes earlier, blinking uselessly on the screen. She couldn't remember the last exit, or even the last streetlight. Only the faded yellow line stretched ahead, like a spine leading somewhere she wasn't sure she wanted to go. Her fuel gauge glowed orange. Fantastic, she muttered. Up ahead, something flickered at the edge of her high beams. Mira slowed, squinting. A person. No. A shape. Thin, motionless. She braked harder. A man stood on the shoulder. One arm hung at an unnatural angle, the other raised as if trying to wave her down. His clothes looked soaked, but the air was dry. She rolled her window down just an inch. "You all right?" she called. The man stepped closer and smiled. Her stomach twisted. His teeth were too many, too sharp, too wide. "Nope." She rolled the window back up and hit the gas. In the mirror, he still stood there, arm raised. Then, somehow, he turned his head slowly toward her car. Just the head. The body didn't move at all. She sped up. The yellow line wavered beneath her tires. 1 minute passed, then 2. Her breathing steadied. Then she saw another figure on the roadside. Then another. And another, all spaced evenly, like horrifying mile markers. Some stood. Some sat. Some lay flat, as though waiting to be outlined in chalk. A few whispered silently to each other. One pressed her palms against her own cheeks, trying to hold her face together. Mira didn't dare slow down. Her hands clamped the wheel. Her fuel light blinked again. The gauge hovered above empty. She searched desperately for an exit. A gas station. Anything. Suddenly, a shape dropped onto the road ahead, landing with a wet, heavy thud. She screamed and swerved, tires screeching. In her headlights lay a deer, or what used to be one, mangled so brutally it barely resembled an animal. She drove around it, trembling. When she looked forward again, the yellow line was gone. The pavement continued, but the marking had vanished completely. "No, no, no." The GPS screen flickered. "Turn back." Mira froze. She hadn't touched anything. The screen glitched again. "Turn back now." Something moved beyond her headlights. A ripple, a distortion in the air. Then it rose, tall, dragging itself upright. Too tall. Its form scraped the edges of her headlights. Limbs long and wrong, a faceless head bending the darkness around it. Her engine sputtered, then died. Silence smothered her. The shape leaned toward the windshield. Fog spread across the glass where it hovered. Something tapped against her window. Slow, deliberate. Tap, tap, tap. She couldn't move. The thing's hand dragged across the fogged glass, drawing something. A line. A single yellow line. Then the creature dissolved into the dark, as if swallowed whole. Her car roared back to life, headlights flashing bright, and the yellow line reappeared on the pavement, as though it had never left. Mira slammed the accelerator. She followed the line like it was the only thing keeping her alive. She didn't glance at the roadside, didn't check the mirror, didn't blink. Finally, she reached a gas station. Bright lights, music playing, someone laughing inside. She burst into tears. The attendant hurried over. "Ma'am, you okay?" She shook her head. I think so." He frowned at her windshield. "Strange," he said. "What's that supposed to be?" She looked. On the foggy glass remained that single line, and beneath it, a message. "Stay on the line. Next time you won't get back." Mira stared at the yellow mark on her windshield. It refused to fade, refused to smear, refused to let her forget. She swallowed hard, standing beneath the buzzing gas station lights. Lights that should have felt safe, but didn't. Because the line on the glass wasn't normal. It was a warning, or a promise. She slid back into the driver's seat, hands shaking. Locked the doors. Tried to breathe. Stay on the line. Why did it feel like a threat? The GPS blinked to life. No route found. Her phone chimed. One message across the screen. "Return." "No," she whispered. "Not going back." "Not ever." A knock hit the passenger window. Mira jumped. It was the attendant. Thank God. He pointed toward the back of her car. There's something on your bumper, he said. Want me to take a look? Another knock. On the other side of the car, Mira froze. A figure stood there. Too tall, too still, too wrong. Its skin looked stretched thin. Its eyes didn't blink, didn't move, didn't feel human. Tap, tap, tap. The same sound from the highway. The attendant stepped back, confused. Ma'am, do you know him? The creature leaned closer, fogging the glass with its breath. Slow, cold, deliberate. Mira's pulse hammered in her throat. She couldn't scream, couldn't breathe, couldn't think. The creature raised one long finger and drew beneath the yellow line. A new mark, a curved stroke, like the beginning of a circle. Her GPS lit up again. You left the line. The darkness behind the gas station began to ripple, shifting, breathing, waiting. The attendant finally understood. He opened his mouth to run, to yell, to warn, but the creature's head snapped toward him. A sudden jerking twist of bone and shadow. Its mouth stretched too wide. Splitting, opening, tearing. The attendant screamed, and Mira realized, this time, the line wasn't there to guide her. It was there to keep something out, and she had crossed it. Mira heard the first crack in the windshield, and it didn't sound like glass breaking. It sounded like knuckles cracking, slow, intentional, hungry. She threw herself back as the fissure crawled across the glass, branching like veins lit with sick yellow light. The glowing ring pulsed in the center, as if something enormous pressed against it from the other side. No, 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 she whispered. She grabbed the door handle. It didn't move. Every lock snapped shut on its own. The creature outside stared at her, tilting its head with insect stillness, as if studying prey trapped beneath a jar. The shadows behind the gas station groaned. Something heavy dragged itself through them. Her phone buzzed. A message appeared. Stop! Do not interfere. The line is breaching. More text followed instantly. This is not for you. Leave. Leave before it sees you. Her heart slammed against her ribs. Before it sees you. What else was there? The creature outside leaned in, its spiraling eye widening, as if it heard her thoughts. Crack. A hand pressed against the inside of the windshield. Long fingers. Too many joints. Skin like wet stone. The glass warped outward under its push. The creature outside hissed. Not at her, but at whatever was coming through. Two monsters now. One outside, one trying to enter. The ground shuddered. Darkness surged across the pavement, devouring the gas pumps and the concrete beneath them. The creature outside crouched, trembling, afraid. Whatever was inside the glass was worse than it. The hand scraped downward, carving glowing grooves. The ring burned white hot. A shriek rattled the car frame, like radio static made of bone. Her phone buzzed again. Run. The line is broken. It can reach you now. How? She gasped. I can't move. The dashboard lights flickered. A symbol she didn't recognize blinked. A crooked circle split down the center. The car engine roared to life. All by itself, the thing inside punched forward. Glass erupted outward. As something massive forced its way through, a shape that twisted and unfolded, too large to fit, but making room anyway. Mira screamed. She slammed the gear into drive. The tires shrieked across the asphalt. The darkness lunged for the car. The creature outside shrieked. And behind her, through the shattered windshield, something ancient and furious, finished crawling into her world because the line that once held it back was gone.